Hi, this is Paul here again from Boyle Payroll Project Management, and today I want to give you an update on remote working. So thank you for joining me, and if you want to keep up to date, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Taxpayers must make a claim for remote working relief. This claim can be done online and is a quick and easy process. There is a legislative requirement that receipts must be submitted with the remote working relief claim. That is, the utility bills must be electronically uploaded. Therefore, when making a claim for remote working relief, the remote worker will need to provide a copy of the utility bills issued by the service provider in respect of the premises where the remote worker carried out his or her duties of employment. The claimant will also need to provide any other information that may be requested by the Revenue Commissioners so as to determine that the requirements of the remote working relief are met. Taxpayers can manage and keep track of their remote working and other receipts on the Receipts Tracker service, which is available in My Account and in Ross. Remote workers in receipt of PAYE income can claim relief for their relevant remote working expenses in one of the following ways: in year, using the real-time credit facility, or after the end of the year by completing an income tax return. The total amount of relief received in respect of a year of assessment will be the same, irrespective of whether the relief is claimed in year or following the end of the year of assessment. The only difference is one of timing, with relief available earlier in relation to in-year real-time claims. Claiming tax relief following the end of year of assessment. Taxpayers can also claim relief for remote working expenses after the end of the year of assessment by submitting an annual income tax return. For PAYE only taxpayers, this can be done by accessing the Review Your Tax card in My Account. Taxpayers claiming relief on an annual income tax return can manage and keep track of their remote working expenses and other receipts on the Receipts Tracker service in My Account or on Ross. For chargeable persons, they can claim remote working expenses by completing an income tax return at the year end. They will be required to upload supporting documentation via the Revenue Receipts Tracker in Ross. They can opt to save the information to Revenue Storage, where it will pre-fill the tax return to assist in the completion and filing of the return. Valid receipts saved to Revenue Storage do not need to be retained by the taxpayer for 6 years. Where relief is claimed after the end of the year of assessment, the claimant will generally receive a refund equal to the full amount of relief due. This is subject to the requirement that the total amount of income tax paid by the individual in the relevant year of assessment exceeds the amount of relief due. Example 15. Using the same circumstances as outlined above, Stephanie claims tax relief for her remote working expenses in January 2023 by submitting an annual income tax return in respect of 2022 year of assessment. The relief due to Stephanie in respect of 2022 year of assessment is still €120. That's €300 multiplied by 40%. Salary, remote working specified amount, €300. Taxable income, €53,700. Tax paid, €36,800 multiplied by 20%, €7,360. €17,200 at 40% is €6,880. The basic personal tax credit of €1,700 and the employee tax credit of €1,700, and the total tax paid for the year €10,840. The tax due, however, would be €36,800 multiplied by 20%, which is €7,360, €16,900 at 40%, €6,760. The basic personal tax credit and employee tax credits are the same at €1,700, but the total tax due would be €10,720. Tax overpayment of €120. As the tax paid by Stephanie over the course of 2022 year of assessment exceeds the total relief due in respect to her remote working expenses, she will receive a refund of €120 subsequent to filing her tax return. As outlined above, the total amount of relief received in respect of remote working expenses in the year of assessment will be the same irrespective of whether the relief is claimed in year or following the end of the year of assessment. This is shown in the examples. Provision by employers of computers and other equipment. Relevant expenses for the purpose of remote working relief does not include expenditure on anything other than electricity, heating or broadband in an individual's qualifying residence. Remote working relief does not therefore extend to expenses incurred by an employee in purchasing furniture or equipment to enable him or her to work remotely. This may include, for example, a desk, a chair, a computer or printer. These are capital items and are not allowable deductions under the remote working relief. Where the provision of such items is primarily for business use, benefit in kind charge will not arise on the employee in respect of incidental private use. The provision of a telephone line, broadband, etc. for business use will also not give rise to a benefit in kind charge, where private use of the connection is incidental. Remote working hubs. Remote working relief does not extend to expenses incurred by an employee for renting desks in hubs. However, if it is the case that costs of renting a desk in a hub are paid for by the employer and the costs are incurred wholly and exclusively for the purposes of the business of the employer, the costs may be deducted by the employer in the normal course of calculating the tax liability of their business. There is no relief available for the employee. Capital gains tax. Where an employee uses any part of his or her home for remote working purposes, the capital gains tax exemption for the principal private residence will not be restricted. Local property tax. There is no reduction of local property tax due on residential property in relation to the owner using a room in his or her home to carry out work-related activities. Thank you for watching. Don't forget, keep up to date, hit the subscribe button or like or join the groups Payroll Matters in Ireland. See you next time.